We are here. It is week 3. I've learned quite a bit from the first 2 weeks of football. The difference between my week 1 record and my week 2 record. So we're going to see if week 3 can end up even better and if I learned anything else. So for Thursday Night Football, we have the New York Giants facing the San Francisco 49ers. I am going to take the 49ers here. They are such a good team. They really are. Against two good good to great defenses between the Steelers defense and the Rams defense. They scored 30 points each time. The Steelers, just the number of drives that they had with Steelers offense being inept. They were able to score that many points. The Rams offense is a lot better, but their defense isn't as good. So they were still able to score 30 points both times. I don't see that changing here. And I think San Francisco is going to win this game. As far as the Sunday games go, we have Tennessee at Cleveland. I'm taking the Titans here. Because Cleveland, I talked about it in the recap, they lost Nick Chubb. Horrible injury where he's gone for the season. And people are wondering if if that's a career ender. I hope it's not. I hope he does return. But for the meantime, Deshaun Watson has looked bad. And I mean bad the first couple of weeks. And here's the problem. Is that it's a little bit of a problem with Deshaun, but it's a problem I had with people. Is that he has the 1 year in 2020, good year for him, bad year for Houston, and then he sits out in 2021, and then in 2022 he's traded but has to serve the 11-game suspension. So if you take the end of 2020 when they didn't make the playoffs to when he started playing again last season, that was nearly 2 years of not playing in actual football games. In 2021 he was on the scout team for Houston. And my problem was, and this was a little bit last year too, that they just assumed that after 2 years of being away from the game, all of a sudden he was going to return to form. And he didn't last year. So then it's like, okay, well, he's obviously got to, after an off season, and he can, get back into the groove, and clearly he's got to be better, right? Wrong. He's still bad. And if he doesn't fix it in the next couple of weeks, people are going to turn on him. People in the sports media world have already turned on him. People who thought him and the Browns were going to be good are like, nope, you can't fix him. You can't fix him. And others are, I'm going to give it a couple more weeks. I think someone said by mid-season, if he's not what he was or close to what he was, then they're over it. And Cleveland fans, they are going to turn on Deshaun very, very quick. The amount of draft picks they gave up for him, the money they gave up. Obviously this isn't the fans that giving up draft picks and money, but that's the owner. The owner is going to be pissed if he's given up all this money. He gave up all that draft capital just to not get any results. And the fans aren't going to appreciate it either. So if Deshaun doesn't start playing well, it doesn't matter if the team's winning. Deshaun has to play well, or else you might as well have just kept Baker Mayfield, paid him less money, and kept those draft picks. Atlanta at Detroit. I'm taking Detroit here. They had the game versus Kansas City, then they lost versus Seattle in overtime. I think they're going to squeak this game out. But they've got to stop Bijan. A lot easier said than done. And I won't be surprised if Atlanta wins this. And I'm like 51-49 going Detroit. And you know what? Screw it. Atlanta's going to win this game. Atlanta will win this game. I'm changing my mind right now. Just Detroit's defense, they're not good enough to stop Bijan. They're not. So that's why Atlanta wins this game. New Orleans at Green Bay. I'm taking New Orleans. No, Green Bay. I'm going to take Green Bay. Jeez, I am flip-flopping like crazy. I'm going to take Green Bay. New Orleans, you have a good defense, but your offense is a little... just... I don't trust your offense as much as I want to. You're 2-0. That's great. But I don't trust it as much as I want to. So I'm going to take Green Bay. Denver at Miami. Is this even a question? Miami wins this game. And Russ. I don't know, Russ. Broncos country. They ain't riding. Definitely ain't riding with you. And Sean Payton may end up benching you if you don't improve. Miami's gonna win this game. If Denver loses this game, plus their defense ain't very good. If Denver loses this game 45-42, then it's like, okay, Russ played great. Or, and like it's competitive throughout. Russ played really good. I think Sean would take that. Okay, fine. Russ is showing something. And you got to fix your defense at that point. But that's not going to happen. I think Russ is done. I think he's done. LA at Minnesota. I'm taking the LA Chargers to win their first game. Both these teams are winless. Someone has to win this game. And if they tie, I'm going to be a little pissed. So, LA takes this game. New England at New York Jets. This is going to be a low-scoring game. It is. And Zach Wilson's going to screw things up even more. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the game that Zach Wilson gets benched. The New England Patriots come away with the win here. And their first win of the season. Buffalo at Washington. Bills take this game. And I say that because Washington, you really haven't played the strongest teams. You barely beat Denver after making the comeback and then allowing them to get the Hail Mary and stopping them on the 2-point conversion, which may or may not have been pass interference. Like, you're not taking on the greatest competition here. Let's face facts. So Buffalo's going to take this game. Houston at Jacksonville. Jacksonville wins this game. Yes, it's divisional. Yeah, they struggled against Indy, talking about Jacksonville. But Indy just beat up on Houston. So I'm going to take Jacksonville. Speaking of Indianapolis at Baltimore. Baltimore's winning this game. And I say they're winning this game because I don't know if Anthony Richardson is going to play. This could end up being a Gardner Minshew game. In which case, Baltimore, yeah, your defense isn't fantastic. You've got a lot of injuries on the board. But you're going to win this game. Carolina at Seattle. I am going to take Seattle. Carolina almost had a chance at completing the comeback versus the Saints. It took the prevent defense. We're going to let you get the touchdown after so many plays instead of letting one over the top, and then you onside and don't recover. So you almost had a chance at a comeback. Seattle's winning this game. Chicago at Kansas City. Chicago, your defensive coordinator just resigned. Which, okay, interesting. How does Matt Eberflus, I think his name is, the head coach, who's a defensive guy, so he's going to call the defense now, how does he take control of this defense? Now, I have seen it where a team fires their head coach, promotes a guy to be interim head coach, and the players rally around that guy, and they typically either perform really, really well, or maybe even win the game after. So what is that going to say about Chicago's defense? Could they actually do really well under the head coach and then possibly give Kansas City, let's call it, some trouble? I don't think that's going to happen. And it's going to be interesting. Does Justin Fields throw his third pick six of the season? And do they lose this game and continue their we haven't won a game since we traded for Chase Claypool? Kansas City is winning this game. That's going to continue. I don't know how the hell the defense is going to perform. It's going to be interesting to see. Dallas at Arizona. Dallas Cowboys, congratulations. You are 3-0. You are. Your defense is insane. And I'm going to say this right now. Ready? I'm calling this. Defensive Player of the Year. It's going to come down to Micah Parsons and TJ Watt. Right there. That is who the Defensive Player of the Year is going to come down to. Those are going to be your top two guys. I'm calling it right now. Calling my shot. I'm not going to say who wins. I'm not going to say who wins because we'll see how the season turns out. Both guys are doing incredible right now. But just hold on to that thought. Other than that, I mean, the defense is just flying around. Dak is able to play carefully, I would say. He doesn't have to risk the ball. He doesn't have to throw it into, hey, this is a close game and I need to make a play. He doesn't have to do that because the defense is just that good so far. Now, when they face different competition, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, this moment, they're facing the Arizona Cardinals, and this is going to be another thrashing of a game. So, Josh Dobbs, stay safe out there, and we move on to the next game, which is Sunday Night Football. I get to watch the Pittsburgh Steelers for a third week in a row. Like, you guys don't understand this. Because of the Bills playing Monday Night Football Week 1, I was able to watch the Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers on TV here in my area. I live an hour outside Buffalo. So we are in the Bills market. So I got to see them play. Okay, cool. Then they played Monday Night Football. So I got to watch them play. Now they're going to play Sunday Night Football. I get to watch them play. This is the third week in a row. Like you see the smile on my face. Because I never get to see them on national TV. And now I get to see them a third week in a row to start the season. With that said, let me actually get into an analysis of this game. Here's the deal. The offense in 2 weeks has scored 2 touchdowns. And they scored a touchdown. Let me think. 2 field goals from the offense, and the defense scored 2 touchdowns, which is why they beat the Cleveland Browns. If they don't score those 2 touchdowns, they do not beat the Cleveland Browns. And at that point, I would have been 12-4. And heck, had Seattle and Detroit, and that's 13. Like here's the problem, right? By the way, congratulations, Alex Highsmith, on Defensive Player of the Week. You had your pick 6. You had the forced fumble that resulted in TJ's touchdown. Like, you played great. So, let me talk about Pittsburgh. Their offense makes me sad. And I tweeted something that said, why is it that even if the Steelers are down by 1 point, it seems like an insurmountable lead? Like, the Steelers can't catch the other team at that point, and it's a 1-point lead. Doesn't matter what point in the game it is, it's 1 point. Why does that feel like the offense can't catch up? Why? And I am so sick and tired of the offensive coordinator, Matt Canada. Like, I am so sick of him. Because here's the problem is that his play calling is predictable. It is. People at home, sitting on their couches, can tell run, pass, outside run, jet sweep, screen. When people at home on their couches are calling out the plays, what do you think defensive players who studied all week, prepared all week for the Steelers offense, what do you think they're going to do? They know the plays. Matt Canada is a moron. He really is. And here's the problem, is that everyone's, fire Canada, fire Canada. They're not going to fire him. The Steelers don't fire people. They don't. They really, really don't. They're going to wait until the season ends, when his contract expires, and they're going to say, Matt, we thank you for what you brought to this team. We thank you for your effort. Get the fuck out. Instead of firing him, they're just going to say, go. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you tried to do. And that's infuriating. It really is. 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And sometimes the play calling just baffles me and others. There was a Steelers fan who, he would try to tell people how bad the Steelers offense is, how bad Matt Canada is. And people like, oh, come on, it can't be that bad. You got to be over-exaggerating. Watched Monday Night Football. They would talk to that same guy. No, you're right. He's that bad. You weren't over-exaggerating. No, we aren't. He's terrible. And the Steelers just don't want to fire people. And here's what kills me as well. If the Steelers, by rule, were not required to cut people, they wouldn't. They would flat out keep 90 men on the roster if they could. Because they don't want to cut people. They don't want to fire people. It's baffling to me. It's mind-boggling how much someone has to prove they're an idiot, or that they can't, or if they can't play, to make someone realize, oh, we need to get rid of this person. And I get so, not just me, other Steelers fans, we get so angry about this because we care about the team. If we didn't care about the team, we would either A, be fans of another team, or B, we would just let it go. But we get upset about it because we care. And people at the stadium during, I think it was the fourth quarter, were chanting, "Fire Canada! Fire Canada!" They were literally got 60 or 65, I don't know how many people Acrisure holds, but basically 60 to 70,000 people chanting to get the offensive coordinator fired. And the thing is that I want Pittsburgh to succeed. I want Matt Canada to be a good offensive coordinator. I do. But because this is how it gets. I want them to succeed. I do. But it's almost like if they do so bad, maybe they have no choice but to fire him. So, do the Steelers score only 1 touchdown a week? Is that what's going to happen? Because if you only score 1 touchdown a week, you're not going to win many games. The defense cannot score 2 touchdowns each and every single week to keep you in games. It's not feasible. So something's got to change. And in my view, it's going to change after the season because they don't fire people. So that's my take on it. I went way too long on this game. I don't even think I said who I'm picking to win this game. But in tradition of last week, I'm picking the Raiders to win this game. And who knows? Maybe 0 points and the Raiders stomp the Steelers. Or hell no, win 3-0. That way the defense did their part and Matt Canada couldn't even muster 3. Win 3-0, Vegas. Do me that favor. And maybe they'll finally fire his ass. Or who knows, we'll be lucky enough and he'll quit. Like the Bears defensive coordinator did. Raiders win this game. Make Matt Canada look like an idiot. Please. Like, you can tell I'm broken about this now. Like, that's where I'm at. I'm broken. I had hope for the season. Maybe, a year now under the system, and Kenny's going to be his full year starting, and I had hope. Maybe Matt could finally figure it out because he had Big Ben being old, and then it's like, well, he needs a mobile quarterback for his system. Okay, you got Mitch and Kenny. Both can move. Okay, it's year 2. I got nothing at this point. So, I'm just waiting until the day Matt Canada gets fired. And then here's the thing. Please don't promote from within. Either go get some guy from college or go get someone else from the NFL. Go get someone who knows what they're doing. Please. Philly and Tampa. Mike Evans is going to go off. Just saying. Philly's going to win. Because Philly cannot stop wide receivers for some reason. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. You had a week and a half to prepare. Go ahead and win this game. Rams and Bengals. Rams win this game. Please. Thank you. Make the Bengals 0-3. Nick Wright loves to point out the fact that ever since they called Arrowhead Burrowhead, they have been winless. Because they call it Burrowhead, they go in there, then you lose. Week 1, you lose. Week 2, you'll lose. Let's see what happens week 3. Are you like the Bears now? You cursed? Rams. And also, that's just an AFC North thing. Do me that favor. Let's see. Tennessee, do me that favor. And where's Baltimore? Indy, do me a favor. All y'all, win those games. Pittsburgh, maybe try to win. Maybe do something on offense. And it's not all Canada. Kenny's been inaccurate. He's played pretty bad. I admit that. But it's just the play calling. Some of it's why. San Fran, you're down 20-0. Why are you running the football? Why? And, yeah, just... And, by the way, this is a real stat. This is the last thing I'm going to say about the Pittsburgh game, and then I'm done with the video. In the fourth quarter, the Steelers had negative 7 yards of offense. Negative 7. Minus 7 yards of offense in the fourth quarter. When they started the fourth quarter, they were down by 3. They won by 4. Because Alex Highsmith forced the fumble against Deshaun. TJ picks it up and runs it in. Negative yards of offense in an entire quarter. That's where I'm like, oh, just... And I almost want Pittsburgh to do... the offense to do poorly. Just so Tomlin's like, you know what? Enough of this shit. Canada, get the fuck out. Or the GM, Omar Khan. Canada, enough of this shit. I'm overruling Tom. Get the fuck out. Or guess what? The owner, Art Rooney II. I am overruling the GM. I am overruling the head coach. Canada, get the fuck out. There's a chain of command here. It's Tomlin, Omar Khan, and Art Rooney. If one guy or if someone's got to overrule people, do it. If Mike Tomlin can just do it, do it. Fire him, please. Just please. And then you know what? If you want to name the quarterback coach as the interim offensive coordinator, fine. I don't care. But once the season is over, you got to get someone new. Not from the Steelers. Go get someone from another team, or go get a guy in college. Go get the coach over at USC. Like, Caleb Williams does really well. Go get him. Not Caleb. Go get the coach. Because that's an offensive coordinator, right? Lincoln Riley, I think is his name. Go get him. I got nothing at this point for the offense. And, I mean, they struggle to run the ball. And it's crazy that there was, like, offensive production, and all the teams are over here, and the Steelers are all the way down there. In the bad production. Not good. I don't like it. Gives me anxiety. So, please fire Matt Canada. He's a moron. And if you agree with me, Matt Canada's an idiot, do me a favor, hit the like button. Not even if you like the video. Just don't worry about liking the video. Don't worry about enjoying the video. If you want Matt Canada fired, hit the like button. If you want him fired, subscribe to the channel. If you want him fired, turn notifications on. I will see everyone in the next video, hopefully when Matt Canada is fired next week. Later, y'all.